You want to learn how to make informed decisions when deciding what you are going to invest in the stock market. I've been getting asked the question, how do I decide what stocks to invest in, ever since I started uploading these videos and on Instagram and things along those lines. And today I'm going to bring you through my whole process on how I decide which stocks I'm going to invest in, and it really isn't very complicated. Now I will say there's an awful lot to be considered when you're deciding what kind of companies you want to invest in. First of all, things that are absolute facts like their earning reports and their dividend yields, how they've performed in the last recession and the past 20-30 years. And then there's more personal, emotional things like your risk tolerance. Are you going to be able to hold the company if they go through a tough period like what is happening right now, or are you going to be more inclined to sell? So there's an awful lot to be taken into account when deciding what company to invest in. But if you have no clue where to begin and you are looking at YouTube videos like this one trying to figure it out, hopefully I can give you some clarity on how people like myself figure out what to invest in. But quickly guys, before we go any further, I'm going to ask you please to smash that like button. You guys have been killing it lately. The YouTube channel is growing. It feels fantastic to see. Drop me a comment, let me know if you're looking at any stocks or if you're opening any positions, and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. But anyway, let's get to the juicy stuff. So my single favorite website for figuring out which stocks I'm going to invest in is a website called Simply Safe Dividends. It gives so much information. Now, it is extremely expensive, but if you're really smart, you can get a 2-week free trial by only giving them an email address and creating a password. And you can keep giving them a new email address to get the service for free. All it takes is like 5 minutes every 2 weeks. And this company is, without it, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would find these stocks. The amount of info it gives you is amazing. So let me just show you how powerful this website is. So guys, now we are on Simply Safe Dividends. I put a hat on and I also put my mic on, so hopefully the sound quality is okay. But what I want to show you is how we can go about finding companies on this website. So I'm just going to bang, move myself over here. And there's a thing called Screener, okay? Now in the Screener, we can fill in whatever we want. So we can say, right, I want a really safe dividend, okay? So a company that is almost guaranteed to pay me my dividend. So I'm going to click on Very Safe and apply. I want them to have grown their dividend for over 10 years. I want their dividend growth to be decent. I want a high dividend yield. And I want them in the communication sector. You can choose any sector you want. It's amazing, okay? And then we're going to click apply. And boom, they all show up. There is only one in this particular sector, and that is the Omnicom Group. So now, okay, this seems like a company I would like to invest in. It meets all of the criteria I like. I would then go ahead and invest this company further. So I'd go look up things like their earnings. If I click into them, it's going to show me loads of information. So I can see their dividend safety, their yield. I can see their thesis, which is basically just all about the company and what they do. Their dividend growth, their streak. So much fucking information. Go the whole way down, you'll see all these charts of all this random shit that probably means nothing to you but is really important. Basically, this website is amazing. Now I'm going to show you a company that I am actually looking into buying. So we're all aware that we're living in a bit of a crazy world right now. The virus that's going around, everything that's happening in the world, okay? This virus is affecting every company in the world negatively. It's bringing their earnings down, their stock price down, and it's a crazy time to be alive. But we can also look at it as an opportunity. So I thought, right, airlines, okay? Everybody needs to fly. Everybody, for work, for pleasure, for holidays. But right now, people aren't flying because they're afraid. They're afraid of getting this virus. They're afraid of not being able to get back home. And they're afraid of dying, literally. So obviously, these companies are going to do very poorly in the short term. And to me, that's an opportunity. So what I want to do is I want to get an airline. And right now, on the screen, you can see I have Delta Airlines. And if you're following me, you know I've been looking at this company very closely. But how did I get to the stage where I'm looking at them? Okay, well, I thought I want to invest in an airline. So let's figure out what the best airline is, okay? And so literally I went to Wikipedia, I looked up largest airlines in the world, and boom, Delta is the biggest airline in the world. Boom, it's that easy. It's not that easy, but it's a good starting point, okay? So they're the biggest airline in the world by revenue. They make the most money, okay? They make the most profit, they have the most assets, and they have the biggest market cap. Now, to me, if that's not a fantastic starting point to decide what company you're going to invest in, I don't know what is. They're the biggest and best. So now what I'm wondering is, okay, are they profitable? Are they making money? Are they doing well? Or do they just somehow magically appear at the top? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to their website, and on their website you can go to their financial section and it shows you all of this information. So the ones I'm very interested in are the earnings releases and the 10Q and 10K, and it gives you them for every quarter of every year. Now I'm not going to go through these because just look how much information there is, but if you want to invest in a company you should look through all of these. There's so much useful information, okay?
everything. Look how long this shit is, okay? But if you don't have time and if you just want to get a broader idea before really looking into this company, let me bring you back to Simply Safe Dividends, okay? So we can see their dividend safety score and their dividend yield straight away, which is obviously two really important things. Has notes on them. Why they were downgraded is because of the virus. We all know that. We don't need to read that. I can see that they've grown like crazy, but what I'm really interested in doing is going down to their dividend safety, okay? Now in here, there's loads and loads of useful information, and they make it so easy because the important stuff is highlighted. It's in bold. So it says its dividend appears to be about as safe as the average company's, has a reasonably safe payout ratio. They pay 21% of their earnings as a dividend, so 21% of the money they make is paid to its investors. Look how easy it makes it. Not only does it show you a graph, but it shows you where their preference is for certain things. So their earnings payout ratio, they like it to be below 40%. It's currently at 24%, and it has been pretty much forever. So like there is so much useful information on this website. Their debt levels look decent. They've paid uninterrupted dividends for only 6 years, which isn't a very long time, but that's okay. They've generated positive free cash flow in each of the last 10 years, and the list goes on and on. Now, some of the bad stuff, right? The stock plunged 80% during the Great Recession, essentially. That is a lot, and it is worse than the average company. So we spoke a little bit earlier about things like your risk tolerance and how okay you are with seeing a number go up or down. If you're not okay with seeing your investment go down, 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 companies like this, the highly volatile ones, aren't for you. So if you think you're going to be inclined to sell when you see a stock going into the red, don't even think about a company like this. For me, I plan on holding it for 30 to 60 years. I don't really care. It's okay. Right, they have assets of 65 billion. It goes on forever and ever, okay? There's so much useful information here. Now, their financials, okay? So the financials on here are really good, but what I always recommend doing, and I have one open here, is actually looking at their annual revenue. Now, you will get this obviously through here, their earnings, etc., but this makes it so much easier. Their annual revenue in millions of US dollars since 2005. And we can see that it's gone up every single year, except for this year for some reason, but it didn't really go down by much, so it's okay. Essentially, they have nearly tripled their income in 15 years, which is awesome. You know what I mean? So to me, again, this is looking like an amazing, amazing company to invest in that is a really low price right now because of this virus. Now, for the last time we're coming back to Simply Safe Dividends, I'm not going to speak about what's here too much, but I just want to show you all of the information they have. So we can go annual or quarterly in regards to their financials. Their earnings payout ratio, free cash flow payout ratio, free cash flow per share, earnings per share, earnings share growth, sales growth, total sales, shares outstanding, return on equity, return on invested capital, and again it has all these guideline percentages, their operating margin, free cash flow margin, net debt to capital. It's just so, there is so much information here that can help you decide, you know what, I think this is a fantastic stock, or you know what, maybe this isn't the stock for me.
So guys, hopefully that shed a little bit of light on how I go about figuring out what stocks I want to buy. There's a few ways. One, I go on to Simply Safe Dividends and I put in all of the criteria that I want met, and that's fine, you know what I mean? Other things, like what I'm doing with Delta Airlines, is I am kind of seeing an opportunity. Right now, it's because of the virus, and certain stocks are going to get hit harder than others, but that just means they're at a really big discount. Obviously, it doesn't take 10 minutes, like what I just brought you through in this video. It takes hours to look into a stock. Like, if you want to really get in depth, you can. There's so much information on their website. You want to keep up with the news, you want to keep up with how they're being portrayed in the news, you want to keep up with their sales, their quarterly sales, everything you possibly can. But these are just some really good resources to get you started on deciding what stocks to invest in. So guys, hopefully you did enjoy, hopefully you were able to get something out of this and it made things a little bit clearer. If it did, again, please just smash that like button for me. It helps me out a lot, lets these videos get seen by more people. Subscribe if you're new, and until the next one guys, peace.